So they went to Cuba. Their overall commanding general was Joseph Wheeler, formerly General Confederate States of America. He was an older man now, drank quite a bit, but he was a commanding general. From time to time, he would forget. Poured into those Yankees, boys, we got them on the run. And on the 30th of June, 1898, Roosevelt wanted action. And by the summer of 1776, listening carefully to the words of George Washington, reading the pamphlet by Thomas Paine called Common Sense, which is just what I wish we had today. Just look at questions square in the face and decide what the common sense answer is. And it is, we should be independent. Their first step on the morning of the 25th was to ask George Washington if he would preside. He agreed. Second was to ban the press. Don't get mad at me. To ban the press. They deeply believed in the freedom of the press, but they also knew that if they had the press reporting on every activity, nothing would get done. You see, you'd be accused of flip-flopping, wouldn't you? And not only that, but knowing how journalists are, they nailed the window shut. That's why Julius Caesar was so important to George Washington, the play. Founders of our country, they knew their Roman history very well. And to them, Caesar was the outstanding personality. He was a man of absolute genius. But the tragedy was, he used that genius to subvert the freedom of his country. He took the freedom of Rome, he used the opportunities presented by its political and financial distress to turn it into a dictatorship that would endure for centuries. And Edward Everett wrote to Lincoln and said, Mr. President, I wish I could have come as close in 2 hours as you did in 2 minutes to the true meaning of this occasion. So that is the Gettysburg Address, which despite the New York papers, and can you imagine what the commentators would have done to it today? By the time they had told you what you heard, would you recognize it? No. 83% of the American people think that speech was a flat failure. Well, that's what Lincoln had said when he turned to his friend. That was a flat failure. It won't scour. That's a word for a plow that won't do its job.